Thank you, my man. Appreciate it.
Shut this door. I want to be in the back editor suite in the corner there. Just give me a shot if you need anything, yeah?
Thank you, bro.
Cheers.
Appreciate it. Okay. Here we go.
Here we go.
So, wow, that's so loud. Okay, yeah. So, hello.
Hello, how's it going?
Can you introduce yourself and share what led you to the Maskülen Essence?
So I'm Jake Farmer, and what led me into the Maskülen Essence was probably because I wasn't confident and I really needed to build that confidence up.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a way for me to get confident talking to girls and like people in general, because I was like too busy working a lot and I wouldn't focus on that too much because I didn't have the time. And then when I started the Maskülen Essence and put the time in, I just felt like I was really getting more confident as I go along. And yeah, it's been good.
Sick. And what would you say your dating life was like before joining the program?
Oh, it's so bad.
Really? How so?
Literally so bad. Well, I was getting blocked.
Blocked?
Yeah, I was getting blocked. I got blocked on a date. I think it was, well, she was saying that everything was good. Like, oh, do you want to meet up again another time? And the next day I was like blocked. Didn't see a picture. So
Wow.
yeah, it wasn't great. I wasn't picking up signals or that kind of thing. But then, yeah, when you're in the Maskülen Essence and you have like mock dates and stuff, you get a lot of feedback and you can pick up off the signals that you had. Well, the way you are in that situation, the model would pick up on that and then give you some feedback. So definitely helped me refine myself.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Refine, yeah. And you spoke about the mock dates there. How did you find the mock dates? What were they like for you?
It's definitely an experience. It was really, very useful. And because you're having a date with someone that you don't know at all, it's getting you out of your comfort zone. And also they're good with knowing what's like bad and what's good.
Right.
And then, yeah, they'll give a lot of good feedback. It's just, yeah, it was really good.
Did you apply any of their feedback into dates with your current girlfriend?
In ways, yeah.
You did? How
Yeah.
so?
I guess it was like, a lot of the time it was being more like taking charge of things.
That masculinity side of things.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't really doing. But yeah, in my relationship, I'm always taking charge of what's going on, like where we're going, all that kind of thing.
Wow. And you've actually got an interesting story about your current girlfriend, right? You knew her before, and then she kind of came back round in the picture. Maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we matched on Hinge and we went on a couple of dates. The first date was really good, but then the second date it was like really dead. It was like there was no spark to it.
Right.
And after that date, my current girlfriend, she was like, it's not working, and I've got other things going on, like family issues and all that. I think she was just making excuses at the time.
Right.
So she just like said, yeah, we'll leave it and we'll just be friends. And then I think she went off traveling, and I was active on my Instagram quite a lot, and I was posting lots of stories and like my lifestyle basically.
Yep.
And I think I saw one of her photos and I kind of just reached out again.
Double tapped it.
Yeah, and I messaged her saying, oh, that looks something about like where she is. It looks amazing or something like that. And then we ended up like talking again as friends. And I was like, yeah, we'll keep it as friends. I'll see where this goes. And then she was the one that kind of asked me to, she said, oh, do you want to meet up again? And then I was like, okay, we'll see how this turns out.
Yeah.
And then I met her like the first time after so long. I think it was like a year after. And we went to the park, just chilled. And we were like having a lot of deep conversations. And it was kind of flowing quite a lot. And then I think we met up again. And then I could really see, like, I could pick up on some signals like, oh, she's interested in me now.
Right. Okay.
Like before, when I wasn't a part of the Maskülen Essence, I couldn't pick up on these signals.
Right.
And
give us an example, Jake. Like what kind of...
She was like touching my, like, because I said about my jewelry, and then she's like touching my hand and just like trying to make some contact.
And that's so interesting because we did a one-to-one body language session with another one of the models. Do you remember early days?
Yeah.
This was in a park. And we were showing how to initiate touch, where to touch, where to guide when you're like guiding a woman into a room, how to sit, open body language on a bench, on a park bench. And you just mentioned there you was in a park and just kind of picking up on those cues that she gave you from a deep conversation. So
yeah,
it's quite interesting.
And also like conversation wise, she's like talking about relationships and like, well, do you reckon you'll get into one like soon? She's just trying to suss me out a lot. Yeah.
Wow. That's really interesting, man. Really interesting. So yeah, we spoke a little bit off camera before about the most difficult thing that you had to go through and maybe the biggest obstacle that you had to go through whilst in the program. Can you maybe share a little bit about that? What was that specifically and how did you overcome it?
I think the main obstacle was probably approaching people on a day-to-day basis, just like random people that you don't even know, because I never really did that. And it's something really like out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So
and you're referring to here the group approach days that we do.
I mean, it was just like, do you know when we first started?
Oh yes,
at the time I was like hungover.
Very first session, I will never forget, right? This boy, I'll never forget it. First session, I met him in Shoreditch. He turned up, I think it was a little bit late, it was like 5 minutes late, and he come over hungover, and I was like, oh no, this is what these sessions are going to be like. But I'll tell you what, bro, you don't think you've ever come hungover again after that.
No, so. That was the last time.
Yeah. Because I was making you write down notes and everything.
Yeah. And yeah, when you're hungover as well, your energy's not there. So
zapped, yeah.
I had to kind of just work with it. I kind of got used to it after a couple of hours. But at first it was like, oh shit, I've got to jump into this
new
zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was mainly approaching people because I would only approach people if I'm their mate. And this was something different. We started with like shopkeepers and all that kind of thing, which was good to like ease me into that kind of stuff. And it definitely helped because it's like adjusting you to just talking to people.
Yeah.
And just saying like some random shit, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because ultimately approaches and talking to women or whatever you want to call it, for a lack of a better term, some people call it pickup, some people call it risen, some people call it whatever it is ultimately it's just talking to strangers. But it's talking to strangers that are the opposite sex as you. Yeah. So for me, what came around, Jake, for me, I was like, well, let's reverse this for the guys, for the members to make it easier. Let's start talking to just guys, just normal people, cashiers, shopkeepers, waitresses, cool. It's their job to be friendly, to be polite, to be cordial. And then we kind of build it up and then get into the approaching women. Talk to us a little bit about how you found approaching women in the beginning. What was that like?
I mean, it's definitely more out of my comfort zone than it is like just talking to a shopkeeper.
Right.
Because they're a person just like everyone else, but I was just overthinking stuff all the time when it comes to that approaching girls, women in general.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what are they going to think of me if I just come and say hi? It's so random, but as soon as you like do a few approaches, then you get used to it, and then you kind of get a lot more confident from just doing a couple, and you feel that thing inside you when you're like
in the stomach.
Yeah, it's just like it's pretty fun.
Yeah. That's interesting, because I feel like, and you can maybe tell me what you think to this, but I think once you get over that kind of stomach knot and you push through it and you're like, okay, it actually wasn't that bad. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's quite cathartic. It's like this, wow, like I've just unlocked a whole new thing. I can now talk to anyone and everyone. Is that how you feel? Was that how you felt?
Yeah, I felt like you just had to put yourself in there. And I felt like if I just said like go and do it, then I would be able to just do it.
Yeah.
But and then if you're waiting around, I was doing that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Where I was just waiting around, and then I was like overthinking.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Yeah, I can imagine. You mentioned there about just saying go. And there was times where I would just be like, go. And there'd be times where I'd even like, obviously like jovially, like jokingly a little bit, but also seriously have my hand on your back and be like, just like guide, gently pushing you. Like, go on, go for it. How did you kind of find that style of coaching? Because of course we knew each other before, we were friends before. How did you find that kind of coaching of me just like pushing you into it and just like, go on, Jake, go?
I mean, it's definitely harder for me, because I feel like if I do it on my own terms, then I find it a lot easier. But if you're saying like a random person that I don't really want to
talk to,
then it's like, but it's definitely helpful to have that kind of coaching, because you gotta work towards a better self, and
I like that.
You've always got to have these tests so that you can just develop as a person.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think the art of approaching, and the art of approaching strangers, people that you don't know, there's a real beauty in that, and there's something that's you can take with you like through other aspects of your life. Do you feel like you've been able to apply it to other areas of your life at all, away from dating?
Maybe like business.
Yeah.
Or like networking. Because I was doing a lot of networking in the middle of doing the Maskülen Essence stuff. And it definitely helped me get a lot more work. And like more people, I connected with a lot more people. And that allowed me to like do other kind of events, like have my visuals in different locations and that kind of thing.
Well, for those that don't know as well, maybe just bring people up to speed, like what's your job, what's your role, and tell us like the biggest success and biggest achievement that you've had in your career.
So I'm a motion artist, and I create visuals for campaigns or maybe like screens in everyday life. And I think my biggest achievement has been having my work in Tokyo, Shibuya crossing. That's like the famous crossing. So that so far it's that.
Yeah.
But it needs to be. We need to get to like New York and
come on,
or like London as well.
Come on, I love.
Yeah.
And tell us about maybe some of the brands that you've worked with before, Jake, as well.
So main one has been Adidas, and I've done some stuff for ESPN, and then I mean. There's been a lot of stuff that I've worked on.
Just read it off.
I worked on some stuff for the Squid Game rave that's happened recently. And I mean, I worked with Guinness, worked with, I mean, there's so much.
Who's that footballer?
Oh, Messi. I've worked with...
Oh, Messi.
The thing is, I do a lot of stuff, and it's like, it's not... I wouldn't put that in my portfolio though. That's the thing. But
you designed an Instagram story that Lionel Messi put on his Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just take a minute. You designed an Instagram story that Lionel Messi put on his Instagram story.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably one of the most followed people on Instagram, isn't he?
Arguably the best footballer of all time.
Yeah.
As well. So yeah. It's amazing. You can chop that up and use that, put it on your Instagram, mate. There we go. Okay, let's get into some more stuff, man. So we spoke about mock dates.
Yeah.
We spoke about approach days. Was there anything else that you found has been something really useful, and why do you reckon that's been within the program?
I think a lot of the knowledge you gave me at first. I mean, one of the things that stuck out the most was because I didn't have a clue about if you can tell if people, well, women like you or anything like that. I was like, yeah, I didn't have a clue about that. Mm-hmm. And then when you told me that, when they like look down and then look back up, then they like something about you.
Yeah, we're talking about the eye contact.
Yeah, the eye contact. And when you said about that, it really like gave me a lot of confidence inside me, because then I would be looking at people and then I'd be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. When I was coaching this guy Farzam the other day in Manchester, he spoke about that, and he said how that was something that he was like, wow, that's fascinating. Like, just breaking the eye contact horizontally is like, go away, I'm not interested. Breaking the eye contact vertically is like, oh, I'm a little bit shy. And then they might look back at you. So that's something that you remembered, was it? The eye contact?
It definitely helped me on my journey. It was like, this is the first thing, piece of knowledge that was like, oh shit.
Wow.
This is really useful.
Yeah.
Because then when I'm on the streets and I'm looking around, I can see like who likes the vibe of me, and if I like them, then I could just approach them.
Yeah.
And it would be a lot better.
Yeah, it's really interesting, man. Like those little tangible nuggets of advice, I think they really help people. Was there any others that you could maybe give the people watching?
Any
top of your head?
I think it's just when approaching as well, you don't have to force anything.
Right.
You could say anything basically. Mm-hmm. If it's interesting, then they'll probably have a conversation with you.
Okay.
And I mean, if you have it so that it's kind of based on your surroundings, then it's kind of easy to get a conversation going.
The situational comments.
Yeah, situational.
Right. Yeah. They're the easiest ones, I think. They're the kind of the go-tos that I think are so easy, because you can talk about anything and everything. You can talk about a neon light sign that says on air. You can talk about the cameras that are using the shirt. You can talk about absolutely anything.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this then, Jake. What would you say to somebody that's maybe on the fence about joining the program? And I'll paint the picture. They're not sure. They're like, I'm not. This is a big investment of my time, of my resources. I don't know if I need this right now. Maybe they're in their 30s. They've maybe had some luck with women, but they're not sure if they really want to, commit themselves to it. What would you say to somebody that's on the fence about joining the members club?
Well, I would say that it's not all about like women anyway, because you can use those skills for anything. You can use those skills for like your job, like business, whatever. Like if you have to like pitch something, then you could probably gain the confidence to like do that. So it's like you learn so much, and it's really worth it, because I mean you're developing yourself as you go along, and like where you are now, you'll have improved your skills in like talking to people in general when it comes to like a year's time.
Wow.
Like if you're in the program.
Wow.
Because for me, I've been in the program for nearly 2 years now. And I've always seen growth from how it was before and then now.
Night and day. Like two different people. Like the Jake I knew before and the Jake I know now is like, honestly.
I think, when before as well, I wasn't given any eye contact at all. I would be, if there was someone approaching me on the same street, then I'd be on my phone. I'd be looking down as well.
Yeah.
But now I just look in front of me.
Yeah.
It's a lot better that way as well.
I hear it. It's interesting. Very interesting. And of course, when you joined, you started in the very beginning, and there wasn't as many members, and of course, it wasn't in New York or Dubai. And when this comes out, who knows where else we'll be by now?
Yeah.
What's been the benefit of having the other men around you? So, like, right after this, we're going to record a podcast as well. But and be honest here, has there been a benefit of having the other guys around, or do you prefer the one-to-one? Do you get more from it, or do you reckon it's kind of more holistic like that?
I like the balance of having the group approaches and also like on your own, because I mean, the group approaches, you're motivating each other to like do better, and it really helps having people on your side that are in the same kind of situation, and they just want to improve as well. So it definitely helps.
Because you're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In some ways,
In some ways, yeah. Because everyone's at a different level, but you're all in the same boat. At one point, you're all kind of, going through the same issues or struggles, and also, successes as well. So that's that's an interesting one for sure. So how do you kind of view your role within the club now, Jake? Of course, you're in a relationship. How do you kind of make the most out of the members club and the community? As of course you're in a relationship and you're not actively dating. I mean, are you still going on mock dates? Like, how does that work?
So I think for me in the members club at the moment, well, when we have the group stuff going on, I can give a lot more advice because I've been through a lot of stuff in this program already, and relationship wise, I could probably help people out when they get into some kind of relationship as well.
Right.
And then what was the other thing?
So it was just about how you're experiencing the program now and how you're making the most out of it. And I think I asked there about mock dates. You're in a relationship, but are you still going on mock dates? How does that work?
I mean, I've been on one of the social. It's not a mock date, but
maybe
like get to know each other.
Maybe explain that. Like, what does that entail? Like, what does that mean? Because that's something new that we've just started.
Yeah. So it's like an hour. You meet a model, and you get to know them for like an hour. It doesn't have. You can just pick a different. You can pick a location, and just have a drink. More laid back.
And is it a date or?
No. I wouldn't class it as a date, no.
No. So yeah, ultimately and of course I think I kind of threw you on the bus there because this is something new that we've done, and we've only done it once. But for me, I think it's really important to make sure that even when you're in a relationship, you are still socializing with people, full stop. And I think why not make use of the network of the women that we have to just kind of get them to assess you on your confidence, on your storytelling, on how comfortable you seem in yourself, your body language. These things are really important still. Because I think a lot of the errors that people make when they're in a relationship is they get into it and it's just like that woman's their world, that guy's their world.
Yeah.
So you still want to be able to, and then the woman will give you feedback, right? Because you had feedback from Maria, didn't you, on how the one-to-one kind of meet-up went?
Yeah, I think you kind of get too comfortable sometimes in a relationship. So it's definitely useful to be able to just chat to someone else that isn't your girlfriend.
Yeah, for sure.
And it doesn't have to be like, flirty or anything like that. It's just like a business meeting or something like that. Really.
Ultimately, yeah. And it's not made to be flirty at all, because of course we want to respect, and of course you've developed the skills to acquire this relationship. We wouldn't want to then put you on mock dates and kind of make you be unfaithful.
At first because I was dating my girlfriend and I was having the mock dates as well, but it didn't seem right.
It didn't seem ethical.
And it was getting a bit serious. And then when I was coming to the mock dates, I didn't have the energy that I used to have on the mock dates. Right. Because I just didn't feel like it was right at the time.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. So how would you, so far anyway, from I believe 2023 and 2024, how would you summarize your experience in these past 2 years?
I would say that it's been an amazing experience, to be honest, because without the Maskülen Essence, I don't know what I'd be doing.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, I would still be working a lot, but I wouldn't have the relationship side or like the dating lifestyle that I was having, like in this program.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And yeah, I think I'd be getting blocked a lot more.
That's jokes, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to pick up signals or anything like that,
right,
if I was still not doing the program.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's really insightful, bro. But also as well, I think it's testament to you and how much you've applied yourself to this. I mean, week in, week out, and this isn't just Jake, it's the other members as well. You guys have something that you have to either turn up to, log into, put your clothes on, get outside. And some of the sessions are intense, right? Some of the sessions can be, wow, like I've got a headache after this, or like I feel drained, but you're of course learning something from it. So it's definitely testament to you as well, brother, to applying yourself.
Yeah, I remember when I got like put in that speed dating thing.
Oh yes.
That was a eye opener.
Yeah, why so? How come?
Because, well, first I was like probably the youngest guy there.
Okay.
And the women, they were like in their 40s. So I just had to get to know people that are much older than me.
Right.
And just have a laugh.
And just as a disclaimer, guys, this speed dating wasn't something that we put on. This was another company, right?
Yeah, it was another company.
But obviously I came with you.
I mean, you didn't come with me.
Which one was this?
It's just one that you like...
Oh, I recommended.
Yeah, you recommended, or you put me in for, and then I met you after the speed dating.
You met me after, yeah. Do you not remember the one that I went to and I was outside? By King's Cross. Not King's Cross, Euston. Don't think you remember that.
No.
That was early.
Oh, I think that was it.
Was that it?
Because it wasn't a Euston. It was like, we just had to walk there. It wasn't far. And it was in summer, I think.
It was in the summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was when I think the only person that was actually my age started talking to her for like hours.
Yes, and you got the number and everything. Yeah, I remember.
I got the number, and I had a rave to go like a few hours later, and I was like, oh, you should come. And she was very tempted, but her mom was there. Her mom was there as well. The mom that I had a speed date with.
Oh my God.
She was there and she's like, oh, no, we don't want you going.
That's funny, man. So 2025 then, Jake, what are we looking to kind of level up? You know, I just gave you a Christmas card there and I put in it 1% improvements. What would you say, is there something that you really want to 1% improve on and level up in 2025?
I think I've got confidence now, but I want to keep going with the confidence thing, like, because you kind of get lazy sometimes with relationships.
For sure.
That, and maybe like storytelling, try and be more interesting.
Right. I'll say one thing. I'm really surprised and really impressed at how you've held yourself in this kind of, because it's a high pressure, there's a camera right there on you. It's a
different situation though, yeah.
It is a different situation, and you've probably got more of a reason to be expressive, to be eloquent, to try a story, because it's like the camera's here, the mic's here. Whereas I feel like if we moved all of these things away, I don't think it would have flowed this well, would it?
Yeah.
Do you think?
I think, but I do have a lot of stories because of the whole program, and because there's been situations where I've been so like worried. Well, not worried, but I didn't know what to do in certain situations, and it kind of sticks out in my brain.
Yeah.
Because like when I was approaching people and they have a boyfriend that just comes along.
I remember that.
So
outside Oakley in Covent Garden.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
That was one of the funniest things.
Yeah, you walked over and I think you started talking to her, right?
Yeah, and then
what happened?
The boyfriend, he just came along, was like, who's this hit? And then I was like, oh, you have a boyfriend. See you later.
I'll see you later.
That was like really early in my approaching days.
It was really, really early. And if we were to be completely honest, bro, we're going to wrap up shortly. And this is you can be completely, listen, I'm a big boy and you can be 100% honest. How would you summarize my approach to coaching and how I've kind of facilitated the Maskülen Essence and your development. How would you describe my kind of coaching style for people that don't know?
I would say it's like spontaneous. It's spontaneous style, because a lot of the time you just like chucking us in a deep zone, like, and we got nothing to. Well, we just got to do it,
right?
And I feel like that's a good way to go about it, anyway.
Yeah, like the approach days. Like I'm just like, right, go and approach.
Yeah,
her.
You're like, oh, do this. Approach this person now,
right?
And then straight after you're like, oh, now you did that. Go and approach them.
And how do you find that? Is that how do you find that?
I find it challenging, but it's a good way. It's good to be challenged. You don't want someone to just be like, oh, you don't have to approach them.
Right. Yeah. Imagine if
like,
a coach was like,
it's not a good mindset to have.
Yeah. I love that, man. So 2025, more storytelling, more building the confidence up even more, and more coming across as interesting. Is that right?
Yeah. I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel interesting at the moment.
Yeah, of course you are, man. You're an interesting guy. Jake, listen, man, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming on here and just, being completely honest, bro.
So
and listen, long may it continue, my brother. 2025.
Yeah.
Let's continue to level up, man. You know what I mean? Amazing.
See you later.
There we go. Amazing.
Yeah. That was good.
Mate, you smashed that. What the hell? It's like you were... Did you practice?
No. I haven't been doing anything.
Flowing?
I think it's because I have a lot of...
Flowing?
I mean, my mind gets scrambled sometimes, but then I felt like I was in the zone.
Mate, honestly, absolutely flowing. And I learned some things. Well, I didn't know half that stuff that you was... Yeah.
What about?
I don't know. I didn't know some of the stuff like... What did you say? And I was like, oh, I don't know about that. Can't remember. Something to do with like a coach, like maybe the coaching style. But that's good, man. I like that, bro. Really good.
The spontaneous thing.
Spontaneous, yeah. In the early days, man, it was so spontaneous, wasn't it? We were just going out and just like, right, let's go wingman.
I mean, I didn't even know what I'd be doing in the sessions. And then you're like, oh, I've got this plan for you. But I'm not telling you.
I'm not telling you what it is. I used to do little surprises.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, man, let's go have a little break, because I think the guys are out there.
Yeah.
Because we're in there till 4:30.
Yeah. How's it going?
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Jen.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done with that section now.
Yeah?
Cheers, man.
Okay.